and to change without complaint that average behavior. Feeling like a saint, like some vain old-fashioned savior. If to give you felt a bitch, never really unselfish, only for rent. So leave that sort of tent, take better shelter than the one you once had. It's not about regaining paradise, no question of that, but you're suffering heart and brain from that particular pain. It will unchain. Now the time to realize from a distant point of view that a bargain had a price, just like bargains always do. Take it easy and surrender, nowhere lurking, an offender, no hurricane. No matter of sustained injuries, there is nothing to lose, neither speedily obtain expertise, the more certain thing you choose. That this particular pain, making suffer heart and brain, will not remain. Greetings, dear earthlings on this planet, on this branch, this twig, on this tree. Tree of love, tree of life. The trees you see there are the mere reflection in our time-space dimension of the trees in the largest sense. Mini reproductions of the billions of live trees in the multiverse, throughout all possible dimensions. Our species is not residing in the middle of it, rather in the middle of nowhere, on the lowest and darkest edge. Which does not mean we earthlings are unimportant creatures. On the contrary, our adventure is not trivial. Probably it is decisive for the outcome of the big plan. And it looks like if we arrived at the unfolding phase of it, the showdown. Human, extraordinary being, to which horizons you are allowed and free to go, into better places than those of your self-destruction. Here and now, your real history. In the beginning was God, Goddess, the source, the purest love, the brightest light. Light and love on any level demand for a counterpart at eye level who, without feeling obliged to anything, responds to that love in return. Certainly, in the nearest neighborhood of the highest one, wonderful beings had manifested themselves, but in spite of their completeness, all of them missed the one and only defining disposition, freedom of choice. Out of that lack and desire, the goddess outlined a love plan. In the habitat area of a sparkling angelic creature, a being would be put in a scene that was allowed to develop in full freedom, at first in taking certain distance to its creator, and eventually, if it could manage, to find and go all the way back to the father, to the mother. Homeward bound again to the eternal love. What an adventure! Indeed, because with each incarnation in the middle of the muddy matter, even getting mustier with the invented time running, the installed playground of this search for the Holy Grail, that soul being would forget all about its light-filled descendants. This adventure is the actual main track in man's history. Once it was his story, another time her story, and that on several planets. Until at last on Earth, on Gaia, at the beginning of the 3rd millennium after the lifetime of the Master of Love, Agape. The rules of this experiment allowed it to send direct delegates from the source on the Earth rostrum, who could intervene with their message and only with that, accelerating the process or corrigating the direction of the ascension plan. That was not safe at all. For instance, the one mentioned before died on the cross, probably. We, running here to and fro on the surface of our planet, you, me, your touchy or badly mooded neighbor, your mobbing colleagues, friends, mothers-in-law, grandparents, enemies. We all are the heroes in this epos with unsure way out. Indeed, pure heroic courage is required, even to agree in willing to participate during such kind of a venture. Thereupon, the fall, the descent, required an unexpected speed acceleration backwards, due partially to the meddling activity of a gang of renegades, a race that before had kicked themselves out of the normal ellipsis of divinity. By the way, they are members of our grand family. They are brothers and they are sisters. But all's well that ends well. Once the schooling period, the testing experience, the adventure come to an end, an examination is taking place in order to judge the inner maturity of the scholars. How many are they? Real humans, I mean. Viewed from the outskirts, it seemed rather deceiving, even scary, since a considerable lot of the class pupils was claiming to their right on living utmost freedom for their egocentric excesses, with growing arrogance. These blows were getting so annoying and unbearable that the others began to think the school principal left on an everlasting holiday. Aha, that was what you chose as a description in the year 2017. Showdown. And today, how would you like to call it? Solely the malignant aspects seem to have manifested. Misery, inequality, riots, despair, wars. Please fill in yourself. But nevertheless, the unfoldment, the showdown will come, including the wholesome appearances. At the time, nobody is left to believe in it. The source will intervene. And that time, that moment is now. In fact, even we dull thinking humans are able to understand this. God, means the source, is the ultimate love, including the infinite patience towards the last doubter, skeptic or cynic. So just as a general can do nothing without the boots on the ground, also the source is powerless if we give up, if we resign, if we quit what we are doing. Intervene, I said. It's not about us to be allowed leaning back in a lazy fauteuil. We have to stay put, heavenly backed, and the ladder really is a new and comforting element. Hello, hola. In the meantime, you got and earned 2 ears to hear. Thus, use them. Wake up and listen to the right info at the right time. Interpreted in the right way and executed accordingly. Naut, parole, parole. Which info am I talking about here? Which sort of an initiative? That you are invited to participate in, to bolster a new political party. Its name is Unisono. Unisono. At first, it is conceived as a project in order to be prepared in an optimal way. But afterwards, once a signal is given, go for it. So it will spread itself just in the same way as an Indian banyan tree does over the landscape. Here, beginning with the landscape within the European parliaments in Brussels and Strasbourg. Already today start taking part of it and contact us by email on the address indicated above. Included your sincere pledge that at least in this matter your ego will not take the lead. In that way, you will fill in the first and heaviest article of the party program. Allowing the super-dimensional cubes to fit together and permitting the Unisono initiative to become really an inspired part on the grounds of the Holy Spirit, the Shekinah. Green beating the grave, so the spring is there to stay. Drop that boring book out of hand. The fairies in the forest responding to the plain text. Marvel out of thin air presents. For a beckoning through the air, we the earthlings are waiting. In the meantime, let's enjoy the catkins pollinating. I say they are older, you say hazel lush. What matters that all hair being downy and lush? Green beating the grey, so nor I shall go away till I got your full heart. I will stay. The outskirts of the forest seemed trustable and honest, the brushwood near the center much less. Winter showing up, ice and snow, the grimy cup. I knew I was forlorn, may God bless. God himself was not there, instead he sent a bird, blackest feathers, quickest beak, and almost white its shirt. The experts, the one who don't have some belief, dismay it, their pointed heads, call it a thief. But I am not an expert, and I don't want to be, so I trusted its feathers to you, it led me. I also thank the forest, the winter and the experts. Without them, I'd never found you.
The streets are asking for a gentle walk, as goes a man when slowly he recovers, reflecting what was here in former ages. And those who reach a place, they look like lovers,
After months of passing out,
remarking how
after years
unexpected wandering over the water clear to glide begun. All surfaces is sharpening up reflection according to the fading
a
of
sickening surround,
images with a more perfection than the customary wound.
that this field has always
Now heavy
a
garments
place of
have
future.
they oblige, not winds around as evening suns arise. The people's mind
Y inclut ta promesse réfléchie que du moins pour cette initiative ton élan ne sera pas commandé par ton ego.
and high above remains alone. The silence it tastes quietly from nowhere forced, clearing out grapes after grapes, celebrating carry on till the rest of water ringers with through the evening dusk escapes.
Like those grapes from the edge of Spain, full of hope, with half the world to gain. It is yours, there will be no fight, and no bold buccaneer, because the only frontier is a curtain in the light. From the same old boat are the hull boards, from the same strong linen the sail. Wholly different, only the light ports and their windswept roofs on that trail.